me, but sometimes it can be annoying. Okay, so let's try, this is just work. Nope, it didn't work. And I know why it didn't work. Like, I'll just call it regular GUI. Okay, so that worked. It should be like display the GUI when interacting. For Python mean, oh, I got you. What's it called? What is what called? Carbon. Oh, carbon's the name of the thing that does types for Python. Cool, cool. You know some performance regression with Lua? No, Lua's faster. Faster and less annoying than Vimscript. Okay, so I'm gonna try doing this with I just passed WebGL here. Great, this is exactly what I want. I was wondering if you will create a PR for the file observer anytime soon. Yeah, I'm planning to do that. But the thing with that is, I've written so much code since then that now in order to PR, I have to like go back and figure out what I did. And it's just a lot more annoying. Like, the longer the PR stays open, the more difficult it is to go back and PR old things. Because I was waiting on the interact with embed thing. Okay, so I was here. This is where I got the render options. This is where I start rendering, I think. Right, the digest args, which was somewhere. Here. So now I don't even know how to use this. Put in a bleeding edge branch. I could just push everything to a new branch, that's true. What are you using for the status line in NeoVim? I'm using bar. So this is like my NeoVim config. And I'm using this. I don't know, I guess this isn't that exciting. Actually, I don't like it a ton because it isn't reading the rest of my color theme. If you'll notice these colors are way brighter than the colors in the bar. And the reason for that is that it's not reading into my color scheme. That's what I'm doing. Need a Manim style Clippy. That'd be cool. Just say, are you trying to do this? Okay, close that. There's so many terminals and stuff open. Okay. So I think, okay, what does this do? If the file is dash, the animation code has to be from stand-in. So the input file shouldn't be absolute since that file wouldn't be read. Okay. Where are the... Somewhere in the config lifestyle, it has to read the configuration file. Where does that happen? Does that happen when you initialize it or something? Show file in browser. Show file in browser? Why can we do that? Can we do that? Okay, so there's digest args, then there's digest file. I don't know where digest file is called from, though. Okay. So it digests the file first. Okay. So it digests the file first. And then after that it does digest args. So by the time it gets here, it's already done that. If has atcher args key, then it's going to get the atcher from the, or get the key from the args and then write that to self. That makes sense. Okay, so this belongs right here. Use GUI. Okay. So now if I go to here, self.set from list. I don't think I need to do anything fancy. Oh, actually, I think it's gonna crash. It didn't crash. I guess that's good. I thought underscore D. Like, I didn't think you could just write things to it. Def, digest, args. Like writing use GUI to it. I thought I had to initialize that somewhere. But I guess not. Like here. This is where they're all listed, but what's this for? None for self. I guess I'll just put this here. They all default to WebGL. Interesting. This is why I was dreading updating our config. This is adding, just keep in mind, I'm currently adding a single Boolean flag. And this is what it requires. Okay, but I think this is actually done. Now all I have to do is edit the default.config. What did I just do? Is edit this. So that'll be false by default. And now I think I'm done. I think. So now if I go to the OpenGL renderer and I just say, hey, why don't you just print out config at use GUI. Nope, that didn't work. So digest args. So I guess this isn't enough. It looks like it's just setting these things in self. Okay, I'm gonna break like here. Okay. Use GUI is still none. For key and all of these things, if has at your args key. Args. So this has use OpenGL render and stuff. Where was this passed in? It's the click args. Okay, so it looks like the click args doesn't have used GUI. It's just click args of args. It's just click args of args. So we look at args. This doesn't have used GUI. It has it here and it's none. It has two things. It has the context. So if you look at the context.params at use GUI, that's not there either. I don't get it. Someone please explain. So here's the render options. These options in an option group. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to break here and then see where it goes from there. So returning some callback. So here I'm currently in the context. Self.get params of context. If I look at that, I guess this has a used GUI. I'm just going to turn from here. You probably won't find anything useful inside the library code. So where was that? I feel like I'm going to spend this whole stream, literally, mark my words, I'm going to spend this entire stream trying to add this flag and nothing else. Star args. Let me try printing that. So this is a dictionary. This has used GUI none. Oh, I think this should be a... Maybe this is like default. Why is this defaulting to none? But like use OpenGL render defaults to false. Why are those different? Is flag is true. Aren't these like the same? Oh, I have to return something. I have to return the value from the validation function. If value and whatever, return. So if value is false, it'll skip this and return false. And if value is true, it's going to do this check and then, okay. So now, this still won't solve the problem though. But at least when I print args here, this should be true now. Nope. Oh, no, it was, yeah. Here. Okay, so now there's a different problem. In digest args, which I think is where I want it to happen. So here, I wonder why my stack trace is being printed this way now. But digest args 639. Yeah, so right here. Nope, that wasn't 639. 6, 3. So here it's trying to write a variable or an attribute that it doesn't have. And why doesn't it have it? Maybe because it's not an ops, but I did add it there. It must need to be declared here. I bet it needs one of these. But it's just a Boolean, so it shouldn't be anything. This config, dude. Okay. This config, dude. Okay. It should have basically the same format as the transparency. Just true or false. Do we not have a transparency flag? Or the same as disable caching, since that's also just a Boolean. So I'll just go down here. 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 Slip this in here. I forgot the description I used. Why are there... So there's a description here. And there's another description here. And actually they're different. For the WebGL renderer, this one says the path to the WebGL frontend. This one says path to the WebGL renderer. Gotta love duplicated code, but I'm just gonna copy paste this one. Yeah, like this. All right, let's try that again. Okay, it didn't crash. That's good. Whoops. I messed it up. There. Okay, I think I've successfully added the flag. So that's good. Actually, I didn't, because there's a test, unless we went back and changed this. There's a test that compares the help output to a fixed string. And when you add an option, the help output changes. And so that test fails. And so it might still not be complete. But I'll try printing this. Great. What's this new window with menu? So I managed to integrate Imgui with this. A little, sort of. But there's Imgui, which is this is... I'll get to that later. This is Imgui. It basically gives you an interface to render a GUI if you're already rendering OpenGL. So that's pretty nice. And then somebody wrote Python bindings over it, which is called PyImgui, which is this. So that's what I'm doing. The problem is that this library is very complicated and it doesn't have documentation. It literally doesn't have documentation. I think there's an issue where someone asked, where's your documentation? And they just said, we don't have that. I like IMGY. That's good. Then you can help me do it. There was one where it's just like, can you like write out what the API is? I don't know if I can find it here. There are a lot of issues. It was saying just like write out the API, and he said no, read the code. So it's probably going to be a disaster, but it's a pretty popular one, so hopefully we can just get by on examples. Yeah, it's going to be a disaster. Okay. And not only that is only one header file. Yeah, and it actually says that there's one file, like is only one header file. Yeah, and it actually says that there's one file, like imgui.cpp, and I think some imgui.h. These are, to be fair, these are pretty well commented. There's a lot of information in this code. So it's not literally just saying to, all right, here it is, read it. I think this has, yeah, this has some pretty detailed comments as well. But unfortunately, to get really efficient with this, I'm probably gonna have to read at least the top of this. Well, that's 10,000 lines, so I probably won't read all of it. I'm probably gonna have to read some of this. And probably some of this. And that's not all, because then there's the bindings, which is its own thing. This has documentation at least, which is pretty helpful. Anyway, concept of immediate mode GUI is from Casey Moratori. I'm getting super distracted. I was doing something. Oh, I watched this video. I watched this guy talk about this. And I think the concept behind it is pretty sound. Like, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, I need to remember how to switch between these two. I think in order to switch, I think there were two places I had to make changes. One was the window, I think. No, that's the same. I go to OpenGL renderer window. Okay, so this changed. I think it's this has to be switched. This has to be commented, and this uncommented, and this has to be commented. I think those are the changes. Right, yeah. Okay, so that made sense. Let me switch this back to regular embedding. Wait. Okay, so that makes sense. I don't think this needs to be changed ever. This window events might be strictly better. Okay. So we go to this, embed instead of wait. So now the window is the wrong size because it's still the size for the GUI. But now there's no GUI, and this window is taking up the whole thing. So that's why that's happening. So what I want to do, this line, it's only a config at use GUI. Or if not, these are only if you use GUI. These no matter what. These if using GUI. And I think I use this no matter what. The size will have a different default depending on if you're using the GUI. I think, so this is use GUI. And then the else is just this. Okay, did something wrong. So why is the GUI not appearing now? Did I not save something? Didn't save that. Okay. Great. So that's with use GUI. But if I don't pass that flag here, great. But if I don't pass that flag here, great. Oh man. I keep thinking I have my old shortcuts and then basically breaking stuff. So did I break it? No, that still works. Great. And then if I pass the GUI flag, that still works. Okay. So now I can focus on getting the mouse movement to work, right? So the thing with the mouse positioning, actually I should commit this. Just the fact that I managed to add that flag was a real struggle. So I'm going to do that. So now the problem to solve is the fact that, so this is working. If I scroll, if I drag or scroll outside this window, so like if I'm moving these windows or like doing other stuff, it affects the scene, which it shouldn't. That should only happen if this is, if I click inside this window. So I think what I need to do I need this closed? No, this needs to be open. Close that, leave that, no, close it. In scene is not scene. No, it's the window, it's right here. There are mouse callbacks being fired from here and from here. And if there's no GUI, then I want these to fire. If there is a GUI, I want to fire from these. IMGI window for the previewer, yeah. Yeah, let's hope I can do that well. Okay. So I don't think these can be disabled. I think what I have to do, the config has to be imported here. Man, the config must be imported here. Nope. Oh, no, it is. So I think I want to only do this if it's not using the GUI. That's when I'll use these callbacks. Holy shortcuts. I think I have to call the superclass no matter what. Just to pass it to whatever mechanism, whatever machinery would be running if this inheritance wasn't here at all. So I'm gonna have to switch the order of these. I don't think that order should affect anything. Okay, so now the mouse controls are disabled in the GUI. And if I don't use the GUI, hold on. I want this. I want the use GUI flag to be at the end. Like so. Wait. Why did it get mad at me for the quality? Oh no, it didn't. Okay. So yeah, now it's disabled. And if I take